Hey guys, it's Prince Rich with Rich Technology Group, and I'm also joined by my wonderful co-host, Sunita Allister. How are you doing today, Sunita? What's good with
I'm
you?
good. How are you doing today, Prince?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited to chat about this interesting news that I found out about Dialpad about 3 weeks ago. So,
hmm
I was talking to our contact over at Dialpad, who you know because you've worked with her many times, Dana Dempsey. And while we're on that subject, for those of you who are like, who's this Dana Dempsey over at Dialpad? I'll actually tag a video above of an actual interview that I did with her way back when, talking about Dialpad features and functionality if you want to see that. But I was talking to Dana, and I asked her about IP phones and about polyphones and all that stuff. And she said that Dialpad is now supporting Yealink phones. Now, you probably remember, Sunita, there was a time in the past where we had a lot of customers that were talking with you and I that either were interested in Yealink phones with Dialpad or they already had Yealink phones from a previous provider. And Dialpad was kind of sketchy. It's like they wouldn't say that they wouldn't take your service if you had Yealink phones, but they wouldn't say that they could guarantee that your Yealink phones would actually work with their service. And they didn't sell Yealink either. They only sold Poly. Well, now what I heard after talking with Dana and her team is that Dialpad now officially certifies and is compatible with a specific lot of Yealink phones. What's your take on this new news?
I'm quite happy with the news. The reason why, because Yealing, they have so many good phones, and most of the time, people they cannot just only have. I mean, we cannot force them to have the polycoms,
Yeah,
because if there is a variety in the market, some people they are going to go for polycoms, and some are going to like Yealings for example, for the restaurants, for a single desk, for a CEO's desk. So definitely, if somebody can offer them variety and if they can just support both, that is going to be a very good thing for our clients.
yeah. To add to what you just said in regards to if they supported both. So let's jump into this a little bit. Total transparency. When I asked them what the reasoning behind why they're now like kind of all in with Yealink was, they pretty much told me point blank, well, Poly had the backorder issues in 2022 and 2021. And so we kind of had to find something to fill in. And then I mentioned to my contact when I was chatting with her, I said, well, you know that Poly's back orders are over. In fact, I've actually got a scheduled film tour at their actual processing plant to show that they're at like 3 times the production of units being crafted, created and going out of the door than they were before. And she was kind of like, oh, well, that's good news. But she did say, she said, well, it's not that we don't support Poly anymore. She said we just needed kind of like you said, a backup. We needed to give the clients like a fallback or some variety. What's your thoughts on that? And then I'm going to talk about one more thing before we close it out. Any other thoughts on that?
Yes, because not everybody, Prince, is going to go for the mobile apps and the desktop apps. Most of the times, I have clients who are just 50 plus, 60 plus, and some are just like me, old school, and they just love to stay on a physical phone. Like they need to just pick
Yeah.
it up and, just listen to the call at times. But sometimes we are just like, we are okay while we are just out and around and we are just running errands or doing some stuff and we can still receive our business calls. So, an option available to every kind of client, to every kind of person who can still work, who can still be on their jobs, who can still deal with the clients or just make sure that their presence wherever it's required is there. So I think that this is a good thing. What a provider, what a new service can do, because this VoIP thing is a future thing where we are living in
Yeah.
right now. And if it can offer everything, then the future means something. Otherwise, there won't be any use of using VoIP.
Yeah. Let's talk about one more thing in regards to Poly. When I asked them about their support for Poly, because I kind of asked her, I was like, well, are you guys going to really kind of like be going back to full support for Poly? And she was like, well, we never really lost support for Poly. And total transparency, she told me, she said that some of the old VVX series had compatibility issues with Dialpad. But I know for a fact that that's being worked on, and this is something that maybe Dialpad doesn't know, but it's something that I know for the upcoming film tour that I have. I haven't gotten confirmation if I'll be able to video record this area, but supposedly there is an area that I'm going to either pass or be permitted to film where Poly is creating a new chipset for the existing VVX series. That new chipset is supposed to solve 2 problems. It's supposed to solve some of the compatibility problems that Dialpad shared with me, because I don't think it's just Dialpad that's had some of those issues. And then the other thing is Poly is going to switch to a chipset in the VVX that is easier to get those processors and chips to prevent any future back orders. But Dialpad did let me know that regardless of some of the issues and some of the shortage they had with VVX series, they let me know point blank that they still support and still encourage the CCX series big time, because Dialpad has a specific partnership with Poly where they're basically, I don't know if they're working, I can't remember if she told me they're working on this or if this already exists. But the way that it was described to me was that Poly and Dialpad have a very good partnership to where you can run the Dialpad mobile app on the CCX phones like in real time. And it more or less mimics the same mobile app that you have on your cell phone. So that if somebody, say, for example, is coming in from outside on their mobile app and then they come back into the office to work, everything is still all there. Their missed calls, their logs, their voicemails, everything is still same. It's the unified view from the mobile app on the CCX phones and then on the on their mobile phone. So even though this video is technically about Yealink, we've kind of talked about Poly and Yealink, but it's all about Dialpad. But the way that I understand it in closing is Dialpad now officially supports Yealink, which I never thought I would see that happen. Because I remember we had a lot of deals go elsewhere because they felt like Poly was being forced upon them when that was all that Dialpad offered. So I guess that's kind of the moral of the story. Any final comments or thoughts, Sunita, before we wrap this one up?
Yes, definitely. Because I would like to add just one thing. I love when I see things growing, things and people coming together. So, yes, if we can find everything on one platform, it's not just a platform because we know the people there and we just love working with them, whether it's Dialpad, it's Poly, or it's Yealink, and even if we are working together or with our clients. So, definitely, if things come together and work the best for everyone, I just love the idea of everything just coming and growing and everybody growing together.
Yeah. Here's hoping that Dialpad has a third player, because I personally think that it would be cool if they had a third phone brand in the mix. I was thinking, what if it was like Snome or something like that, or Cisco or something, so that people would see it and be like, okay, I can choose between Poly, Yealink, and Cisco, or Poly, Yealink, and Snome. So my fingers are crossed that maybe a third player is offered with Dialpad to offer even more variety for people that may have something else already and want to preserve their existing equipment and move over to Dialpad's service. So anyways, as always, Sunita, thank you so much for being here and for your input.
Thanks for having me.
And for those of you who are watching, the viewers, if you're watching this and you're interested in Dialpad, remember, Sunita and I work with Dialpad all day long, every day. We've got contacts over there where we can have them show you a customized demo based on your specific requirements or business needs. And then, of course, you'll also get better pricing going through us than if you shop Dialpad direct. So if you're watching this video and you're interested in Dialpad, in the information below this video or on our blog, you can get in contact with Sunita and I. As always, this is Prince Rich and Sunita Allister with Rich Technology Group, your go-to folks for the best deals on business phone and internet service in the United States. We'll catch you guys again in the next video.